when I think how much better I'm gonna be when this is over.
I smile, even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while.
What you do?
I smile.
Come on and
smile. It's so hard to look up when you.
Today's sermon, God Deal With Me, Part 4, My Attitude. Reading from the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 through 8, by Pastor Brian Carpenter.
Last part in the sermon series, God Deal With Me. The subtopic will be my attitude. Deal with me, Father, in my attitude. And we think about it in our spiritual walk. How many of us can honestly say, when I got fired from my job, I was happy about that? I was encouraged by the fact that my husband came home and gave me divorce papers. Now I'm getting thrown out of the house. I mean, how many of us truly embrace the fact that, we get our paychecks and half of it's gone because got garnished? I mean, how many of us can raise up holy hands and say, baby, I lost half my check, but I thank God anyway? How many of us are standing in that same situation? We go to a funeral, we can stand back and see one of our loved ones gone and say, God, I just thank you for the time that we had together. How many of us truly can say we've been in a place like that? When it seems like everything is coming against us, we can still say, man, you know what? I'm just glad to be here. I just got fired from my job. My car done got repoed. I don't know where I'm going to get my next meal, but I'm just happy to be here. In situations like that, it normally doesn't happen like that, does it? I mean, if we're going to be honest, most of us are trying to figure our way out of situations like that. How am I going to get this next meal then? I mean, because I don't know, I have no resources to get me there. Some of the decisions we made get us into those positions, but how do I get myself out of it? James helps us, and when he looks into the Word, he tries to help new Christians who are going through a situation like this. They had just witnessed the stoning of Stephen. Now they're dispersed all over the country. He gives them a word of encouragement. He said, man, look, the thing that you're about to go through, this is not ordinary. The situation you're going through is not going to be ordinary. You're not going to have those prayer partners that you thought you was going to have. You're not going to have that job for 30 years like you thought you would have. That hoopty going to break down on you. There's going to be some folks that are going to come up in your life and going to let you down. He said, I'm getting you prepared for this because you may not be able to accept what's going to come up against you. Jesus teaches, he's teaching us how to master these issues as they come up against us. He said, count it all joy. Now we think about this. Now, he says, now, whatever my situation is, I got to learn how to circumvent the situation to make it joyful for me. Now, I know that's kind of hard, especially, when we're going through loss and all this kind of thing. But Jesus is teaching us in this. He said, look here, you still got to find some good in the situations that's coming up against you. When I learn how to change my attitude against the things that have come against me, I can deal with those situations better. And you think about it, if I'm really going through something, if I turn it around and start worshiping God just because I got another chance to get it right, then my situation starts to change a little bit, don't it? But any of us can throw a pity party and stay back to where we are. I mean, anybody can do that. But can I worship my way out of my struggle? The fact that they driving off my car, baby, let me put I love Jesus sticker on the back of it while you're towing it out of my driveway. Because I know God is going to turn my situation around. He's just moving that out of the way so I can get me a better car. That one wasn't worth a quarter no way. That man that you took out of my life, he cheated on me anyway. But I love him. But the fact that he's gone, I'm going to worship you anyway, God, because I'm going to get my spiritual house together. Because I know you're going to bring me somebody else. When we change the demographic the way we think, then we can embrace what God is going to do in our lives, right? He said, no matter what situation I'm coming up against, I'm going to find joy in it. Disease comes into our life. Man, first thing we do, fall apart, don't we? We already claim it. Boy, they just said I got diabetes. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. But we stand up in a place, we say, well, I'm going to come against the very thing that you said. I'm not even going to receive that into my spirit.
Come on now.
He said, sickness, loss of a job, all these different things. It's a mindset that's coming up against us, the demonic forces have formed to come up against us, and we embrace those things. James said, man, count it all joy when all these things come up against us, because I know God is going to do something in the midst of my struggles, right? So we have to start to shift our thinking into a way that stays into a worship realm. I know it's hard. I know it's hard sometimes, because sometimes we want everything laid out for us, don't we? Not only do I want to see A, B, and C, I want to go to Z too. I want you to lay out the whole demographic for me. But do I really appreciate what God's doing while I'm going through? If He took me to A to Z and I'm sitting back in celebration, I don't really appreciate the struggle that I went through. You know, some of us have been through some very dramatic things in our life. But everybody tell you it's going to get better. Now that you're starting to feel better, now you can understand the process that you went through and grab hold to it, because I understand what God was doing through me in this situation. But our trials, and you know, this word, it means to be tempted. The enemy is tempting us into a place of unbelief. Because if I really take the scripture and put it down into my spirit, I'm going to walk into a place of faith that I never walked before. But when I don't understand truly what God is doing, I will always doubt Him. And there's always going to be a place where I'm looking back and saying, well, I'm not sure, you know. You know, we think about it in our finances, you know, that's tangible to us because we can see it. I can see that check. But when I say trust a portion of that to the church, that means I got to come out of my comfort and give something tangible to something that I really can't see. But when God said, prove me therewith that I won't bless you, that's the word. The only place in the Bible He says it. But what happens on Friday when that check hit that account? No, I got other stuff I got to do. Then I'm ready to have my check. I can't give nothing back to the Lord now. God said, really? Okay. Watch and see what I'm going to do. I've sustained you all this time. I blessed you all this time. But since you put yourself in this situation, now I get punished for it. We got to go beyond that. James is trying to help us. He said, don't be tempted out of our place of comfort, right? But the byproduct of when we're going through this perfecting phase, he said it develops patience in us. Patience means be steadfast, we persevere, we endure. When we understand, when we're going through this demographic, God is developing something else. He said, I'm giving you my word, I'm developing patience in you. And when you develop that patience in you, then I got a spirit that says I will never give in. When God is perfecting something in us, we got to go through some trials and tribulations to get there, right? And when we get there to that place, we got to embrace it not only with the right attitude, but I'm expecting God to do something now. When I'm expecting God to do something, I sit back, I'm waiting on God to do something. You know, the last couple of weeks, we've been going through some very, difficult struggles, not only with the church, but in our world automatically, right? So we're seeing these different type of things that are going on, and I'm sitting back and I'm asking God, why am I going through this? Some of the things that are going on in our life, we're unwilling to let go in our lives. That bad attitude, we embrace that. We wear like a crown. We get a tattoo or something that says, that's who I am. That's not who God made, because He said in the beginning, it was good. But what happened to we've infected it with the world, now we want God to bless some foolishness. Come on now. The thing we wrestle with sometime in our life, and we wonder why we go from situation to situation, and the same thing keeps happening. I moved to another situation, but yet I still got the same thing coming up against me. I didn't learn how to balance my checkbook over here. So I move out of this place, move into a whole other place, but I still didn't fix the issue that I had back there. So I'm still bouncing checks in this place because I didn't fix what was going on with me over here. Amen. But we try to trick God, But I'm going to change my schematics in my life, and that's going to somehow or another have God bless me. God said, no. It don't work like that. He said, I'm trying to pull something out of you. But most of us are resisting that because that's our identity. That's who I am. When you're asking God to deal with you, especially with your attitude, We got to be prepared for what God is going to reveal to us that got to be removed. Some of the stuff is not going to fly with God. He said, I can't bless that. That's a mess. Get the mess cleaned up. Then I'll come back. But he said, perfection. He said, I'm trying to make things perfect, right? God is trying to grow you spiritually. But some of the things that as we transition, it has to go through a process of burning. I got to burn some of that stuff off too. So I got to make your situation so hot, it's going to come out of you. Gold is so precious because they heat it up so hot, all the imperfections come to the top. And they skim all the imperfections off the top. And when it cools down, it's pure. That's why it's so valuable. All the imperfections have come out, right? But perfection means mature, sound, and prepared. Think about it. Now, he said, not only are you going to change your attitude, I'm taking you through a process where you're going to be prepared for the next storm that comes up in your life. James is doing some teaching in here because when we totally embrace what God is doing, I'm going to run to my next situation prepared for it because I know I've left some things behind me that I'm able to go to the next level because God has already blessed me. He said, while you're going through this process, right, I'm producing something in you that's going to got to come out of you because it's not being productive in your life. You know, perfection. When we get to that place, we'll never get perfection here. We understand we'll never be perfect Christians. We got that part, right? But our faith going through our situations can be perfected through our trials, right? So that one thing we went through before, when I go back and go through it the second time, I'm more prepared because I learned something from it the first time that I went through it, right? I used to work at this company, and we made metal, right? We made finished products from a customer that designed something for us, right? So what happened was, we would get certain powders, and we would get all these powders, we mix all of them together, and then we make a mold, right? Whatever the mold would be. But it wouldn't be nothing that you could be able to identify at first. Just maybe like a little clump of clay, right? But we would bring it to the furnace. We bring it to the furnace area, and no matter, you know, it was determined about how big the product is, right? So if I got a big one, I'm gonna put it in the bigger furnace. A smaller one, put it in the smaller furnace. But they all went through the same process, right? So we put them in the furnace, right? We got to turn the gas up before it goes in there because we want the heat to be right when it's going through it. A lot of us are going through that same situation now. He said, hey, I'm going to turn the heat up when you're going through there. You ain't made it nothing yet, but you got to go through something to get to something, right? So we're going through the furnace. And slowly but surely, it will push the part, slowly but surely, through the furnace, right? It will click back, just have a little arm, and push the product forward. Click back, push it forward. Because the thing of it understood was this. It has to go through the fire systematically. I can't rush you into the fire, see? I got to go by step to get you through the process, right? So when it got to the middle of the furnace, that's when everything started to evolve, right? So right in the middle of the furnace, everything is red, the product is on fire, right? Then it starts coming out of the fire. Then it starts to cool down. Then it finally gets to the end, you pull it out. But it's still too hot to touch. I got to let it sit there for a while, right? Then we push it into a cart, then we take it to another place. Now it cooled down, it's got itself there. Now you got to take it through the machining process. Now, so you follow me on this. Now, I was just a lump of clay to start with, right? I've been through my fiery situation, right? Now I'm into a place where the people who've been prepared to deal with this situation are now starting to take the outer parts off of me, right? So it's to start to machining the part, right? It starts taking off the things that are not good and usable, right? Then they take it to another machine. Now we're going to start designing it into the part that it was really needed to be, right? So it started off as a lump of clay, but it had to go through a process to get to where it is. Then when it got to the process, now the customer said, I want it to look just like that. Jesus is saying the same thing to you in your situation. I'm going to take you through something in your life. I'm going to take you through some fiery situations. But when we come out on the end, I I want my person to look like when they get done. And you're going to be perfect and complete. But then it still has to go through the inspection process. That's where I came through. Nothing came in the door or out of the door unless I put my stamp on it. When they bought the parts to me, they said, we're going to run one just to make sure it's going to get through, right? So they run the one, they bring it to me, and I check all the different things on the part. Then I said, now it's ready to go on to the customer. Now you can mass produce it now. But it's only that one that I saw, right? But Jesus sees the same thing in us. All I want to see is one. All I want to see is one thing come out of that furnace just right. Then I'll be able to mass produce a bunch of believers out of that one that you saw. Amen. Come on. Somebody miss it, but you'll catch it when you go home, right? But he said there, beyond that, beyond everything that goes on, right? He said, it takes an unshakable faith. Right? He said, when we come to God, we can't doubt Him. Now I prayed for this thing, but yet I don't know how He's going to put the whole thing together. He said, don't ask God, but then doubt Him at the same time. I can't go to God and ask Him to fix my addiction, but I'm still not believing to go back to the same thing that got me there in the first place. If I truly trust what God is doing, I'm going to go to the whole next level with Him. I'm going to believe that it's going to happen. Amen. God said, I can't. Too often now, we want the help from God, but we leave God out, don't we? I want the help from God, but I leave Him out. I make a decision that's not of Him. But it was only based on me and my spirit, what I needed in that season. But Jesus said, if you're truly trying to get to where I need you to be, you got to understand, you got to ride with me all the way through the thick and thin. You got to go through that furnace situation, but your faith got to hold you through everything that's going on, right? We go to God boldly, knowing that He will fix our situation. Do we really go to Him boldly and say, man, I want to be fixed? Or do we do a drive-by prayer thinking that's going to somehow or another fix everything in my situation? But I haven't really adhered to His word to say, man, I really need help in this situation. He said, don't come to me with no shaky faith, right? It takes faith to withstand everything that's coming against us. It takes a faith to say, man, I don't see it right now, but God, I believe that you're going to say it. Because in your word, you said your word would never come back void. So I believe that, right? So he said, wait a minute. He said, who believed me? He said, you ask me. Think about it when we go and we was little kids. We knew some of the things that we asked our parents for, it may be too expensive, right? But we asked them anyway. Thinking somehow or another they was going to just make it happen for us. And sometime it happened and sometime it wouldn't, right? But that didn't stop us from keep going back and asking, would it? Every Christmas. I know my mom didn't have no money, but that didn't stop me. I wanted to buy something every Christmas. Although I got one the year before, I want another. I know how much it stretched her to do these type of things, but I still went back to her because she was my source. I've seen her provide for me before. So I'm going to go back to the same place that even when I make it a note, that ain't going to stop me from asking for that bike again. Because I've seen you produce a bike in my life before. And the swing has just come out, so I got to have that new bike with the reflectors on the front. I just have to have it. And it has to be orange. It's got to be orange. Because I see my partner with that, right? But I went back to the very source of providing for me before. Good. God is doing the same thing in your life. He said, look, don't come to me sideways, come to me right. But when you come to me right, you got to understand that I'm going to do just what I said I was going to do. But it has to be in my season. But God says, don't come to me and you don't believe me to start with. Come on. He said, don't come to me now. He said, because I don't even register those type of prayers when they come up to me. If you already done laid that light bill down, but you didn't call Brother Junebug to help you with it, don't call me to help me, you know. If you truly believe that I'm going to help you with that, put it down there and believe that I'm going to take care of it. Take that half a check that you got down there, you put it right down there and say, God, I still believe that you're going to provide for me and my family. I may only have half a check, but I tell you what, in your word, you said you're going to do exactly what I asked you for. And if it's your will for me to survive, God, I believe it. I'm going to leave it right here. And I'm going to walk out in faith knowing that you're going to take care of me. Amen. He said, don't come in here with no shaky prayer to me if it ain't working, if you don't believe it yourself. You got to believe it yourself and know that God's going to take care of it. God doesn't hear a prayer of a doubting Christian. Don't you come to me with no stuff like that. You don't even believe it yourself. How you gonna come to me ask me about opening up a business and you don't believe it yourself? I was just watching Iyanla Vanzant this morning. My wife had coerced me into watching this mess. But the thing about it was I got something out of it, right? A woman had just won 188 million. She won 188 million last year, right? But she got this boyfriend ain't worth 2 dead flies. She done bailed him out of jail 3 or 4 times. She just spent $21 million to get him out on bail. Brother James, now come on now. $21 million, she's charged, she knows that. But she didn't have the schematics within her life to help her understand the demographic of what's going on. He still gonna go to jail. But you done messed up $21 million just for a few more weeks with a man that you know is convicted. Doubt, right? Spends the money. So she sits him down and she says, what's your plan going forward? He was going to jail in 2 days. She said, what's your plan? You leaving your girlfriend behind. What is your plan for your business? I don't have one. She turned around, wait a minute. She said, this is a disaster. Some of us in the same position. We don't plan. And this is exactly what's going on. He went on to jail. I'm not sure how the story ended because it went out shortly after that. But the fact of it is, we as Christians, we don't plan in advance. You got $188 million. You got a man with you who has no plan. But we're going to push God into a place and you think God's going to bless that. When he got to the jail, he started praying before he went in there. Wait a minute. You're praying now that you're in trouble. Your wife, or a future wife, had just won $188 million. Now you want to pray because you got a disaster on your hand. Think about if the prayer would have ensued before you went down there and got that money. See, this is what I'm saying. When we get ourselves in trouble, that's when the prayer starts. Crying, slobbering, all these kind of things. Somehow we want God, please bless me. Come on now. What was I doing beforehand? When we got a prayer life that sustains us to all things, it will help us get through everything that's going on. Yes, don't wait till there's a struggle in your life. But a double-minded Christian will think we're going to fool God into blessing us when we have made a disaster of everything before us. It's like riding a roller coaster. He said a double-minded person is unstable in all of his ways. Think about that. Everything you do is upside down. Because I don't believe God to do it. I know he ain't going to. He might not. Making decisions, they all over the place. First time you told me this, now you telling me this. We all over. He said, man, I can't deal with stuff like that. If you come to me straightforward, Jesus, I'm broken. Help me. Don't take back the same brokenness back with you. I know it's going to be unstable. I know it is because you're not comfortable there. Just like we all been delivered. We all been delivered from something. Some of us are still at the beginning of the furnace. Some of us are just coming out of the furnace. But some of us are finished products God is about to use.
Amen.
But we understand we're all in the stage of that because we believe in a risen Savior. Don't go to God unstable, not believing what God's going to do. Believe it, take it in heart because he's waiting for you to get to that next place. He wants to take you to that next level. He don't want to see you fail. James said, man, you about to go through some struggles. But when you embrace it with the right attitude, that's when God moves. That's when God is prepared. Today is your day for somebody who's in that position.
Thank you for watching. Please come join us for worship every Sunday at 10 a.m. We are located at 40 West 40th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana 46208. We are located inside of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. Remember to stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and website. Thank you and have a blessed week. God bless.